What's up, brothers? Hope everybody's doing well out there. Out here taking my evening walk, and got an interesting topic that I want to talk about tonight. So if you got a few minutes and you want to join, you're more than welcome. If not, I got some chicken cooking in the back, so wait around for that at the end of the video. Anyways, in this video I want to talk about why game can only take you so far. Now, if this is something that you agree with, something that you relate to, or something that you learn from, then good. You know, if it's something that you disagree with, okay, whatever. I'm just the messenger. Anyways, like I said, the topic of this video, game can only take you so far. What do I mean by this? Well, you know, the manosphere is notorious for trying to sell guys game. You know, if you sign up for this course, or if you read this book, or, you know, if you just follow one specific content creator for long enough, you know, that's how you learn game. You know, that's how they try to sell you game. The game is to be sold. Anyways, everybody's trying to sell you game. But like I said, it can only take you so far. Now let's start by, let's define what game is. What's the definition of game? Now, I've heard a lot of content creators try to explain this, and there seems to be two solid answers to what game is. Now, on one side of the manosphere, they say the definition of game is being the captain of your own ship, right? That means you are steering the ship. And if a woman wants to be on this ship, you know, she proves herself worthy, she can be on the ship, but you still steer the ship. You are still the captain of the ship. And if she wants to stay on this ship, that's the way the dynamic is going to be. And if she's if she's unwilling to follow the rules of the captain of the ship, she has to get off the boat. So that's one definition of game. And you know, in theory, that sounds really good. I agree with that. I think everybody out there agrees that you would like to be the captain of your own ship, right? So that's good advice. You know, that's good advice when a dating coach tells you that. The other definition of game, which is used on more like the pickup artist side of the manosphere, is like seduction, right? It has to do with the way you talk, you know, how smooth you are. You know, can you talk a girl's panties off, basically? That's the other side of game. Which, I should add, is basically just how attractive you are physically, your natural charisma, and the sexual chemistry you have with whichever woman that you're trying to pursue. You know, it's not really something that can be taught. You can't teach charisma. You know, if you're awkward and jittery and you're just not a very sexually attractive specimen, come on, you're not really going to seduce anybody. So anyways, those are the two definitions of game. I don't think anybody will disagree with that, right? They might disagree with a little bit about what I just said, but for the most part, they're going to agree with those two definitions. One is being the captain of your own ship, and the other is your seduction skills, right? Now, both of these definitions of game work well when you're just trying to have one-night stands. You know, when you're just trying to hook up with a girl one time. Or even if you're trying to have like a short-term, like friends with benefits type deal, or like a high school, college age relationship. These two definitions of game are solid and they're useful under those circumstances, right? But here's where things get tricky. it's not like things were 500 years ago. You know, the man doesn't have full power over the house. You can be the captain of your ship. You know, you can be smooth and seductive and handsome during the honeymoon phase, right? So when you first meet a woman, she might be willing to be a passenger on your ship. You know, she's more than satisfied when you are the captain of the ship. You know, she's just riding in the passenger seat. She's okay with that. Also, your seduction skills are okay early on, right? But here's the thing. Women's opinions, women's moods, women's feelings change like the wind, change like the weather. You know, the first month you're with her, she might be talking about how handsome you are. And a couple months later, she might be throwing you comments like, you're not that handsome, or you're not as handsome as you think you are. Or maybe she's telling you you're so hilarious, and a month later she's saying you're not that funny, right? Her opinion of you changes based on the way she feels about you, so on and so forth. And when the honeymoon phase ends, a lot of that stuff goes away. So the second definition of game kind of phases out after the honeymoon phase. Not in all circumstances. You can maintain it a lot longer, but for the most part it's going to phase out. And we'll talk about how you can maintain it too, but that's a different subject. But being the captain of your own ship, the first definition of game, that works, like I said, short term, because you can dump a girl if she's not willing to follow your program. But like I said, it's not like it was 500 years ago. You know, now they have laws in place, and I should say these laws are corrupt. You know, they are deteriorating society. But they are in place. I didn't put them in place. Again, I'm just the messenger. So game runs out the second you get a woman pregnant, or the second you decide to marry a woman. I know a lot of Manosphere guys, if you've been a viewer of the Manosphere for a long time, you're going to say, well, duh, you know, we know not to get married. But most of you guys, especially if you're a younger guy, at some point in your life you want to get married and have kids. Maybe not get married, but at least have children and have a family, right? Now, like I said, the second you get a woman pregnant, you are no longer the captain of the ship. Regardless of what dating coach, Manosphere, red pill guy tells you, you know, no matter what they tell you, you will not be the captain of your own ship anymore. It's almost like starting a job. You know, let's say you start a job and you're some sort of a specialist at that job, right? Your spot is hard to fill, but you have a boss. So when you first start that job, you're such a good asset to that company that they're treating you so good, it's like, you know, you're basically the captain of that ship. But at some point you realize the boss has more power than you. So, you know, you have a rude awakening and you realize you are not the captain of that ship. Now, in a relationship, before you have children, you might be the captain of that ship. You know, by all means, you have every right to be the captain of your own ship. But the second you get her pregnant, you know, there's really not much you can do. She is 100% in control of the finances. She's in control of the house. She's in control of what you can and cannot do. And if you decide to violate that control, she can take you to court and you'll be stuck financing that ship, you know, financing her lifestyle while you're no longer even allowed on the ship. You know, they'll just kick you off the ship. They'll kick you out of the house and move another guy in that you have to pay for. You know, that can't be denied. There are laws in place that make that possible. So this idea that you're going to be the captain of your ship, it's a, you know, it's a dream. It's not real. Can't do it. So that's why game only gets you so far. You know, and then the seduction part, that stuff wears off in the honeymoon phase. You know, but there really is only one thing in this day and age, with the way the current legal system is, with the way, you know, the climate of everything is now, there's only one thing that really works. And a lot of guys don't want to admit it. You know, there is a serious problem whenever when people have an identity crisis, they start to overcompensate. You know, and they start to, you know, they overcompensate because they have a fear of like looking weak or a fear of being exposed. And a lot of guys out there, you know, they don't want to admit that they have a gentler side. Like I'll hear dating coaches and red pill guys, you know, talk about like men don't have feelings and shit, and like men don't you know, don't even bring up love or anything like that, and it's crazy. But if you want to maintain a healthy relationship with the current legal system, your wife or the mother of your kids has to feel loved. You know, it's as simple as that. But you know, a lot of guys don't really maintain that, and I'm not like blaming guys. There's plenty of guys that are madly in love with their wives. You know, they do everything right, but she still leaves them. You know, that's the fucked up part. But you know, it happens, and I'm not looking past that. I'm acknowledging that. You know, that definitely happens. But you know, even in that circumstance, you know, you could say that showing a woman love and affection and treating her well is a method of seduction, a method of game. But it also runs out, you know. Even when it's genuine and coming from the heart, you know, you really mean it, it can still run out. You know, you're still not really in control of that. We see this happen all the time with average, regular guys. We see it happen with celebrities. You know, rich, famous, handsome men, and women leaving them and taking them to the cleaners. You know, it just happens all the time. So I have yet to see somebody that has enough game to be bulletproof to all that shit. So the only thing that a dating coach can really tell you in order to justify or solidify his position on why game is so necessary is he can take a stance of never get married and never have kids. But when you do that, that turns dating coaches into MGTOWs. You know, they're just pump and dump MGTOWs or casual fling MGTOWs. They're not even what they claim to be. They're not even dating coaches at that point. Because a dating coach would have to at least attempt to teach you how to have long-lasting relationships, right? I think that'd be the point of a dating coach. But under this circumstance, it's like all that they really have is pump and dump, never get women pregnant, and never get married. Because it's just an undeniable fact. The second you get a woman pregnant or the second you marry her, you have relinquished all power. You're no longer the captain of that ship. You can pretend to be, you can try to be, and you might be able to, if she's not smart enough to figure it out, you might be able to rule that household for a little while. But usually, in this day and age, eventually she's going to figure it out. She's going to figure out that she's got you by the nuts. She has your nuts in a vice grip. And she can do whatever she wants. But I do agree that game works very well in like little casual short-term relationships. And even in those circumstances, a lot of women are brats, and they're going to try to be the captain of the ship, and that's when you just got to say, like the dating coaches say, charge her to the game, and I agree with that. But I don't think charging women to the game consistently is really effective. So basically what you're doing is just, it's like, you can't fire me, I quit. You see a hot girl, you see a girl you're interested in, maybe you like her, maybe you want to date her, you try to get her to follow your program, she's unwilling to follow it, so you're like, all right, I'm moving on to another girl. That's the definition of you can't fire me, I quit. You're the one that wanted to be with her. That's just the way that goes. And this is, I don't mean to give like a pessimistic view of game, because, I do think that it is a useful tool for guys, but, let's be honest, it only goes so far. It has its limitations, and in some situations it has zero validity. It has no power at all. When it has no power at all, again, that's when they say charge her to the game. But if you got her pregnant, you got married, if you want to pursue something long term, if you have feelings for her and you're willing to put up with her bullshit, you can't charge her to the game anymore. So that's my take on it. Again, you're more than welcome to disagree in the comment section, or you're more than willing to agree, give a thumbs up, say you enjoyed the video, whatever you choose to do. But anyways, guys, I want to take a thumbnail. Run down here. Get a decent thumbnail. We'll get this tennis court in the background. That'll be the thumbnail. All right. Game can only take you so far. Game has its limitations. But guys, I'm right around the corner from being home, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one off. But hope this video was somewhat informative. Hope you found it to be enjoyable. I'm gonna try to come out with at least 3 to 5 videos per week, and then we're gonna try to bust out a live stream or 2 on the weekends. So I look forward to being back in touch. But I gotta bounce. Peace.
To the window, to the wall, until the sweat drops down my balls, until all you bitches crawl. Oh, skeet, skeet, goddamn.